What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I'm Craig, and as usual, we're going to be going over the charts. I do want to talk about BNB and the amazing chart that I've been showing you guys that could show, obviously this is not financial advice, but it could show Binance is in big trouble. And I'll show you why at the end of the video. Make sure you stick around for that chart. Also, we're going to be talking about the Dow Jones, and I believe we are very close, if not already topped. I've been warning about this all for well over a year. Bitcoin has never seen a traditional bear market. I don't think that Bitcoin will be able to hold up in a traditional bear market, and I'll show you guys my targets and what I'm looking for. We'll look at the smaller time frames. We'll also look at the bigger time frames. I know a lot of people like to concentrate on the weekly RSI for Bitcoin, but you guys got to remember, Bitcoin's much older now. You need to zoom out, look at the monthly RSI. That will give you way more idea of what's going on in the bigger picture. So before we begin, make sure you guys take a second out, scroll down under the video, smash that thumbs up. It really helps the channel out. Let's get this to 2,000 likes. Get this video out there. Try to warn people of what is possible. Again, none of this is financial advice, but this is my view of the market. I've been showing it for a long time. We've been calling this whole bear market from the get. We called the first top at 64K about a month before it even happened. I thought we would get down to about 25K. We only got to 29. Nevertheless, I told you that there would be a bull trap beginning in the middle of June last year, which is exactly what we got. I didn't think it would break the high, but nevertheless, I told you that we weren't going to see 100K. I did not see it in the charts, and that we would reverse and come down hard. And we've been talking about this particular chart since December 2nd of getting down to the possible targets of 35 to 4,500. But I do believe that'll be more towards the middle or end of next year, and I'll show you that time frame here. Anyways, let's get into the charts. Make sure you guys smash that thumbs up. Make sure you leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think of the video. Also, share the video. Get it out there if you belong to any groups or just want to share it with friends or whatever. Just make sure you do that. Also, subscribe to the channel if you want daily updates. Make sure your notification bells are ticked. I know I didn't get a chance to do a members video this weekend, so I will be doing 2 members videos this week. Maybe the first one being tonight, where we go over whatever, coins or stocks or whatever the choice of the members. So anyways, let's get into it. As of right now, the Dow futures are down 200 points, S&P down 33. NASDAQ down 100. Now, we got about 2 hours till market opens, so anything can happen. Like I said, we'll take a look at the Dow first real quick. As you guys know, I'm looking at this as the ending 5th wave diagonal. Now, as of right now, we're getting rejected on this 0.5 fib here. Let's put a target there. Right there. We could be topped out there. That could be it. But we do have one more target to the upside if the Dow decides to do one more fake out, and that would be up to that 0.36 around the 34.7 range before rejection. So if we do open up, get a big rally, either way, guys, I think this thing is going to be coming down and coming down hard. Now, the one reason I said it could go up a little bit higher is because this RSI on the bottom here. If you take a look at it, we could come up to retest this trend line one more time before continuing down to hit the next trend line all the way to the bottom again. Let's take a look at the weekly. As you can see in the weekly, we have higher highs in the RSI, lower highs in the price action. That is hidden bearish divergence, guys. This is a continuation of the trend. It does look ready to turn around and come down very hard. So be careful there. Also taking a look at the DXY. We've talked about this for over a year. We've had these targets, but we talked about getting down below the 200 EMA on the daily. I think this is a lot like the 80s, a lot of the same type of stuff, war threats. Then you got, back in the 80s, you had cocaine. Now you have fentanyl. Just a lot of things line up, and the inflation and blah, 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 on and on. Guys, I like to watch the charts, not the news. I do believe everything's in the charts. Just like we called the Amazon bubble, compared to .com bubble, way back in December, right? Because it was all in the charts. So as you can see, we did get a little below this 200 EMA, and we talked about that, right, on the daily. If you look back here at the 80s, the same thing happened back here. And the reason I repeat this stuff is hopefully you guys get to understand what I'm saying. But you can see right here, we got a little below just before popping up, and that remained support all the way up this whole time, right? We always get a little bit below, nevertheless holds as support just like it is doing now. We'll see what happens here, guys, but this all looks very bullish for the DXY. My next target, as you guys know, is around 122. If we zoom out to the big picture on the weekly, I've been showing this chart for well over a year. I do think we could get all the way up to this 178 range, but of course we'll probably get a pullback around the 122. But once this is broken and gains support, I do believe this would be our next range. Now, again, this doesn't have to happen, but this is looking very likely in my opinion. If you guys are interested in trading, check out Prime XBT. I don't have it up right now, but I do have a link down below. You can trade gold, Forex, S&P, Dow, crypto, everything all from one exchange. They don't trade against you like the scammy exchanges. They do help support the channel, and you can help support the channel if you are trading. That would be my preferred exchange, but just remember, never put all of your funds on any exchange. Any exchange out there could go, you know, upside down. So just beware of that, and don't put more than you're willing to lose on an exchange, and don't put more than you're actually trading on an exchange. Anyways, if you use my promo code on there, Savvy50, you can get up to a $7,000 bonus. Savvy25 could get you 25% off your fees. So definitely check them out if you haven't and you are interested in trading. You can also join the contest section for free and play the free contest trading competitions, and if you win, you actually get tradable funds that you can trade and keep the winnings. So anyways, see what's going on here. As you guys know, I was pointing out this hidden bearish divergence, lower highs in the price action, higher highs in the RSI, waiting for another dump, which we got. Now, right now, I drew a trend line off of these 2 wicks here. Let's see where the daily or the 4 hour, if we continue opening and closing 4 hours, we could get one more little pump here on the 4 hour. But once we open and close a candle, a 4 hour candle with the RSI under here, I think we continue to the downside. Now, a lot of people are talking about the bullish divergence. Obviously, this one played out right here on the 4 hour. But usually, guys, when you're getting hidden bearish divergence like this, that's the RSI resetting to the upside while the price action is not, just making room for more downside. In hidden bearish divergence, if you're seeing bullish divergence without hidden bearish divergence in a downtrend, then you know you're fine. That bullish divergence could play out. But when you're in a macro downtrend, or in whatever time frame you're in, it's a 4 hour and it's still in a downtrend, and then you're getting hidden bearish divergence while getting bullish divergence, all that is the RSI resetting for more downside. So be aware of that. Let's take a look at, whoops, I didn't mean to move that. Let me put that back. Looking at this descending triangle right now, we had a touch at the bottom, touch at the top, touch at the bottom, touch at the top. So A, B, C, D, E, you know, this may take another month or so to play out before breaking down below this 15.4. But as you guys know, on my weekly, I have this target, and that's why it's in blue. That's off of the weekly chart. It's around 14.5. If that breaks, which I don't think it's going to break right through. I've been expecting a bounce there for quite some time, still expecting it. But if we look at this measured move here, that will get us down to about that 12.6 right in there, 12.7 range. But I don't think it's going to go straight down. If it does break this, so once it gets down to this range, I do expect a bounce here, maybe come back up and test the 15.5 again, maybe range in here for a while before continuing down, right? But we could also see this come down here and break this 14.5. If we break the 14.5, then we could be seeing as low as 12.6, somewhere in this range, right? But I'm still looking for this 14.5, 14.6 area to get a big bounce, right? That would leave the RSI some room to come down here. Let's look at the daily. It's kind of hard to say exactly when this will happen, but nevertheless, we've had these targets for a very long time. If we look at the daily, we called this top 21.5. When we broke down here at 19.5, I said look for a rejection. Boom, we got it. And I said once we break this trend line, it would be, you know, heading down towards that 14.5, which we still are heading down there. If you look at the RSI here, we got rejected off this trend line again. And on the daily to come down, this is where I see our bounce coming from. Once the daily gets down to this lower trend line, right? That's around 2072 for the lower RSI trend line. I do believe we're going to head back down to this area before getting our bounce, and maybe bounce around this area. And I'll show you again in the other charts. But let's take measured moves here. If we look at this bigger descending triangle, right? That measured move gets us down to about 79, 8,000 range. Again, guys, I think there's going to be a false bottom sometime in February or March. And I believe that's going to be around the 75 to 8,500 range. Now, if you listened, a false bottom in February or March, that would invalidate this 4-year cycle theory, which I've been telling you guys I don't believe in. All markets are on a 4-year cycle, right? It's called the election cycle. But the halving cycle, everybody thinks that every 4 years it has to hit a new all-time high. Not true. I don't think we're going to hit a new all-time high for a long time, and I'll show you that in the charts here in a minute. But also, we have this 35 to 4,500, and that I believe will be in that middle or end of next year in 2023, around maybe September-ish. And I'll show you why in the charts. Here it is. This is a very old chart, right? Once we broke up here, actually way before we broke up here, we had a measured move target of this 25.5 range. Boom, we nailed it. And then we made another bear flag, took that flagpole, brought it over here, boom, nailed our target, 17.6. If you guys have been watching the channel, you'll understand these have hit exact, right? So our next target, and this is where I get to 14.5, is looking at this rising broadening wedge, right? Then we bring this down here to the break, gets us at 14.5 to 14.6 level. Also, we take this same flagpole for looking at that as a bear flag, gets us down to the 8,500. That's where I get the 8,500. And then if we take the weekly break up here, looking at this as a flagpole, bring it to the break, that gets us at 35 to 4,500. And again, middle or end of 23 doesn't mean we go straight down, although we could. Doesn't mean we go straight down. But I drew this in kind of as a guide about a month ago, maybe over a month ago, what it would possibly look like, right? Once we get down in February or March, get a possible rally up to maybe, you know, 14.5 again, only to get rejected sometime in April, May, somewhere in that area, get rejected and come down to our ultimate target. Guys, be careful out there. Also, looking at the RSI, I told you about getting rejected off here. Once we get this false bottom, and I'll show you that why I think it's a false bottom in the next chart. That's how bubble pop patterns work. But I think we'll break this weekly RSI trend line. Everyone will get super bullish. It will be a good time to, you know, if you want to purchase some Bitcoin down in them levels, and then, you know, trail it with stop losses, or, you know, sell in and profit, because I think we'll go much lower after that. But this is what I'm looking at here. This is the monthly chart I was talking about. If you look at the monthly RSI right here, we had this trend line drawn in forever. We got rejected off it twice. The monthly RSI has plenty of room to get down in here for our middle or end of 2023, which would be somewhere over in here. So again, guys, be careful with watching that weekly RSI everybody talks about. Bitcoin's much older now, much more data. So looking at the bubble pop pattern from December 2nd, this is Amazon over here. And if we get about in the same levels, we got to around February, March, got this big bounce. That little bounce was 100% rally. So when people are zoomed into the time, that looks huge. But if you look here, it broke the RSI trend line on the weekly, only to turn around and come back down and make a lower low. I think that's something like what we're going to see over here. This could go as low as 6,500, right? In February or March. I believe that's going to kill this 4-year halving cycle theory. But it still will be a 4-year cycle, just not new all-time highs, right? Let's take a look at that. So this is the same chart. This is Amazon on the left, Bitcoin on the right, get down to that 35, rally up because of the halving cycle, right? Don't get a new all-time high in middle or end of 2025, maybe 35 to 4,500, and then boom, another 3 years, 2 to 3 years of downside, 14 to 18K, middle or end of 2028. Now, again, this is not guaranteed, but if this plays out like this, this is massive, massive, massive opportunity. And I think when the traditional stocks crash, there's going to be massive opportunities there. It's going to look like the world's falling apart, but that's when opportunity rises, guys. But anyways, middle or end of 2028, 14 to 18K. Middle or end of 2029, 58 to 62K, right? And then come back down to 25 to 35K, middle or end of 2030, and then continue the rally. So either way, even if you buy down here, you'll be all right. But there's plenty of times to take profits in there. We'll be watching this closely. If this plays out like this, this could be the biggest opportunity of all our lifetimes, right? So this is another one, the Amazon compared to Bitcoin chart right here. We've been talking about this and tracking it, and it has been playing out perfectly, perfectly. Now everybody says Bitcoin moves much faster than stock markets. Not true. Not true at all. This is the Amazon chart right here on the weekly, right? This is Bitcoin over here on the weekly. The time frames are playing out perfectly, guys. All right, before we get into the BNB chart, I haven't talked about it in a long time, but this is my wife's webpage, incurimage.com. It's INKUR and then the word image.com. She has lots of cool stuff on here. There's crypto stuff. There's that Divergence cheat sheet mouse pad. Helps you. It's good to have on your computer. I know Divergence is one of the hardest things for people to learn, but it's one of the most valuable things if you learn to use it correctly. But check out her webpage. The link's down below. And here is on the left, we have the FTT coin. What was FTT coin for FTX? He was leveraging with his own coin that they were making themselves, right? And they could play with it however, and then use it for leverage. Well, we see what happened to that on FTX, right? And again, I believe in charts and patterns. I don't care about the news and the hype and all that stuff. I do believe it's all in the charts. Well, if we look at BINANCE, it's doing the same formation. Luna also did this. Crow, be careful, guys. As you can see, we had this big spike wake up here on FTT. Came back down, got, a little bit of upside, which I believe we're in now. This may happen for a little while. What it would probably look like, something like this. We may come up one more time. But eventually, this thing's going to come crashing down. I do believe. I could be 100% wrong. But like I said, I like to stick to the charts, guys. And this is what the charts are telling me. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. But I think Binance could be in serious trouble. Now, everybody thinks it's too big to fail. Well, a lot of things were too big to fail and failed, right? Just be careful out there, guys. I think... old Sammy over here was doing the same thing as CZ over here. He just got caught a little bit quicker, but eventually all this stuff comes back around full force and comes to bite people in the ass. So again, I'm not saying it's for sure or that's what's going on. I'm saying that's what I see in the charts. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that thumbs up. Make sure you share the video, get it out there. Also, give me a follow on Twitter. It's at CryptoSavvy1, no underscore, no nothing. It's at CryptoSavvy, the number 1. That link, if you just use the links down below in my description, it's a lot easier to get there and know you're on the right one because there are fake accounts. But anyways, thanks again, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you in the next video.